Welcome to Sports Betting Illuminated, where we play with the house and not against it. I'm your host, Ariel Calista Miller, author of Sports Betting Illuminated, an AI-powered path to profit. My book, which is available in bookstores everywhere right now. You could get it in Barnes & Nobles, order it from Amazon, or of course, order your signed copy directly from me at arielcalista.com just by clicking on the store button once you get there. Hello, good morning everyone. Good morning Super Pro. Hello Sharp. Hello Victor. Welcome. It is so nice seeing you this morning. Thank you so much for waking up bright and early, joining my stream, and let's do a lot of winning today. I'm excited to get started, but of course, while you're all coming in, saying hello, please remember to give the stream a thumbs up. It really helps the stream grow, get recognized on this algorithm, and you know, this is a big platform out there. We're all trying to build our sports wagering community even larger so we could all be winning together and getting great handicapping tips from everyone who joins in the stream. So the bigger we grow, the more you share the stream, the more you give it thumbs up, the more we grow in the algorithm, the better it goes. Hello, Ken Leo. Welcome. Good morning. Hey, Craig. I did wake up really high today. No, not wake up, but I woke up and got high today. Speaking of, I do have Sour Diesel here. Good morning, Derek. Now, this one is sativa dominant, but it really has some like diesel-y, citrusy terpenes in here, and it just makes you feel focused and energized for the New Year's. So you get all your New Year's resolutions, you know, checked off. Oh, my favorite play of the day. There are a lot that I like. Let me first get my mind right, and then I'm gonna dive right into that. Sometimes you need to sit back, relax, and get your mind right to win some wagers. Oh, anytime. Yes, Craig. Like Craig said, you know, anyone who wants to write me any questions or anything at all in my free daily emails, always feel free to reach out to me on arielcalista.com. I have contact forms, but even more than that, my daily report email, which goes out every day. It's free. It has a lot of sports news, information, plus also line analysis, and I really show you like a in-depth info on all of the games, where the pro money is, where the Joe money is, and it's all free. It's something you don't get anywhere else, plus my early picks of the day, and picks of me every day. And it goes out every single day at arielcalista.com. Just click on the button that says stay in touch, and a big shout out to everyone who's been signing up for my free daily emails. I love when you guys share with friends, share with family members. I know it's the holidays, everyone's getting together with their family. I bet you know someone that likes to bet on sports, and might be really interested in this. So it's a great little free present to give to your friends and family. And of course, anytime you write to any of my emails, I will send out, you know, I'll reply to any messages that you have personally, send you any information that you need, truthfully. Now, play of the day. There are so many good ones on my slate today. It is like really, it is a bit of a tough decision. Looking at all of these, there's a lot that I like in college basketball today. There are a lot of, I even have an NBA and NHL play for you today, on top of all my NFL plays. So this is really interesting. We have a huge slate of games today, but my favorite, oh, my favorite I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad I took the under early in the Dolphins-Browns game. I would say that is definitely probably one of my early favorites. But you know, I gotta admit, I like how this Raiders spread is looking. I mean, it's sitting at -1.5, -2 in some spots. So I am looking at that as well. What is my favorite right now? So tough. It's tough. But those are my two favorite. But anyways, I have a full analysis and huge slate of games that I want to dive into with all of you today, especially because there's so many good ones on the board. So yeah, let's jump right in. I hope all of your minds are right. I hope you're going to have a productive and joyful year ahead, especially maybe incorporating some cannabis to keep you energized and focused. I like this sour diesel strain. You played it too. Well, it is quite funny. I mean, especially as like native to Las Vegas. I mean, truly like a native in the sense that, you know, my family's lived there for like over 3 generations. So it is, you know, when they first came to town, I was kind of like, I don't really know, like, how are they going to perform? But every year, you know, it's a different season. So I do like this line, and I mean, simply put, Vegas sports books like this line as well, so I like it. I'm always going to play with the house, you know that. That's my motto, so I tell all of you to do, and I really outline that strategy very clearly along with practice examples and everything in this book on just exactly how I play with the house using game theory. All right. Now let's dive into this 1 o'clock Eagles-Cowboys game. 1 p.m. Eastern, by the way. I like this total. I bet it under 38.5, but it's still going under. I would say even taking it under 38 right now is pretty good. It's been moving a lot. It opened up at 42.5, then went to 38.5. There was level 2 pro money pushing this total under, so that's when I jumped in and bet this, and then it moved to 38. There's still level 1 strong pro money on the under here, so I would say this is still like a nice little play. Go Birds! But overall in this game, I like the under. That is my play here. So I bet it under 38.5. It's moved to under 38. Maybe if you line shop, you could still find it under 38.5, but at this point, I bet it under 38 as well. Okay. Now, let's move on to the Raiders versus Saints game. Might have got a little high there. Raiders versus Saints game at 1 p.m. Eastern as well, so same time. Now, this is one of those interesting spots. You know, I love seeing this happen where the money line and the spread are moving in the same direction. This Raiders money line opened up at +115. Then it moved all the way out to -105 on some mixed pro money. Then it just kept moving to -120, then to -130. But then there was a little bit of buyback going in. It moved to -125. There's a bit of mixed Joe money here on this money line. I bet it at -105, so I did hop on it early when I saw the line flip right away, like after it opens. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining me this morning, Mendoza Griffith. Welcome in. So I like this. I bet it earlier at -105. Would I take the money line now at -125? Probably not personally myself. I just don't really like taking things like around that -125, -130 odds. Personally, that's just me, you know, but you know, whatever really meets your parameters, but I still like the spread here. I like how it moved from plus 2.5 to minus 1.5. Then there was a little bit of movement going on where it moved back to -1, then it pushed back to minus 1.5. Right now, in a lot of spots, it's sitting at -2. Yeah, it is funny to ladder this out if you want to, absolutely. This really might be the spot, I would say, today where you could ladder the game out. But now it's sitting at -2. You could still get it at -1.5 in some spots. So line shop around if you'd like, or even ladder this out. Take, you know, ladder this out if you want. It's interesting. Why not? Yeah. I think you're right. This could get quite ugly. But let's be honest, I feel like lately in sports, things have just been kind of getting ugly everywhere, and I don't know, we need to really have like sportsmanship. I think, you know, being a good sport, that's important, right guys? I mean, I don't know, because it's like you're a role model for millions of people, and gotta be a good sport. Ooh, big bucks in the ladder there. Okay, I like this. If you're an action player, go ahead, ladder this out on the Raiders. Go for it. Seriously, I didn't think I could see myself saying this like a couple of years ago, but now absolutely. I'd say this is something that you could potentially ladder out today. Ooh, are you looking at Buccaneers -8? Let me take a look at this. And it's sitting at -9 in some spots. Where is it sitting at right now? I did see it on the move earlier. Ooh, this is already at -10. I see in a lot of spots. Okay, so this did move out quite a bit. For -7.5 to -10. Let me update my numbers. I did originally back off of this game a bit because it did go from -7.5 to -9.5, then down to -9. So there was like a little bit of buyback going on, but now seeing it move all the way from -9 to -10, that's interesting. I do like how it is a big move. I mean, I like that play. Yeah, I think they have some steam behind them, and you know, considering how Vegas has moved this, even though the line was looking a little wonky at first, I see like even though I just updated my numbers, like these numbers are still changing by the moment, so it's always important to like double check all of these numbers and make sure these lines aren't falling apart before you place your bet. But as of right now, yeah, I like it. I like Bucks -8. Seems like a solid play, especially considering you grab that at -8 and it's already sitting at -10. So yeah. Okay, yeah, I like that. Now, I did want to just mention one other little bit of an action play that's developing real quick before I move on from this Raiders Saints game. And that is the under. It does seem like it's developing. There are some little bit of wonky lines going on today, but it does seem like everything is kind of developing as it should. This opened up at 40. Then it went to 37.5, went up to 38, then went back to 37.5. But right now, there's still level 1 money on the under. It does look a little bit pro. It looked pro initially, and now it's just level 1 significant money. So I would say this is a little bit more of an action play. I don't like it as much as taking, Raiders -1.5, but I would say if you're an action player, this is a little bit of an action play on the under in this game. So we'll see. We'll see what could happen here. There you have it. We're already getting started with ladders and action plays. Let's go. I can tell we're going to do a lot of winning today. Okay, and now let's go over the Dolphins-Browns game. This is at 4 p.m. Eastern. I really like the under that's developing here as well. This opened up at 41.5, went to 37.5, even though there was some level 1 money on the over. Then, that money was looking really Joe. A lot of pro money came in on the under. Vegas moved this line very strongly after that, and they moved it all the way to 33.5. Now there's level 2 money on the under. I did bet it under early when it went from 41.5 to 37.5. But sitting at 33.5 in this Dolphins-Browns game right now is a little bit of a tricky call. You might want to wait and see if there's some buyback that goes on here, if the total starts going up. This is one of those watch and wait, especially at 33.5. I don't know. Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to. And yeah, so wait and see on this under here, and it is time to roll into the 2-minute drill. I think you guys are going to like this one today, and of course, feel free to ask me any questions at the end. All right, let's get started. The rise of sports betting apps has coincided with huge growth in fantasy sports participation, showcasing a synergistic relationship between the two markets. In 2022, fantasy sports saw record engagement throughout the United States with 50.4 million participants, which is way up from previous years. Fantasy football leads the way with 29.2 million players in 2022. Daily fantasy sports also remains popular with over 30 million United States adults participating, a 12% increase from 2019 according to the Fantasy Sports and Gaming Association. Sports betting is also thriving. In 2022, 19.4 million Americans bet online, a number projected to reach 29.6 million by 2025. Sports bettors tend to be younger, 39% are under 35, and predominantly male, 69%. Notably, there is significant overlap between the two groups. 81% of fantasy sports participants also engage in sports betting, up from 78% in 2018. The growth in both of these sectors appears to be complementary. Fantasy sports provides a strategic, long-term engagement model, while sports betting offers immediate gratification. Platforms have begun integrating betting features into fantasy games, which creates seamless transitions for users, and it enhances user engagement. Globally, the fantasy sports market was valued at $29.85 billion in 2023, with a projected compound annual growth rate of over 15% through 2032. Similarly, the U.S. sports betting market is expected to grow from $13.76 billion in 2023 at a compound annual growth rate of 10.5% through 2030. These trends demonstrate that the proliferation of sports betting apps has not detracted from fantasy sports. Rather, it's broadened user interest and engagement across both industries. With innovative technology and shared user bases, both sectors are set for sustained growth, reshaping the landscape of sports entertainment. guys enjoyed that. It is a good day for a great day. Let's do a lot of winning today. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat, write me anytime, reply to any of my emails. Once you subscribe, just by clicking the stay in touch button at arielcalista.com. Thanks so much everyone for joining the stream so far. We have a lot of plays that I want to go over in college basketball right now, so this is going to be fun. We're going to go through them pretty quickly, and yeah, of course, this is a live stream, so any plays you'd like me to analyze, feel free to just throw them in the chat, and let's start. All right, at 1 p.m. I am looking at the Harvard versus Iona game. I really like how this Iona spread went from -3.5 to -5.5. There is some pro money on this spread. It's moving pretty fast with a lot of pro money behind it. So I like how this is developing, definitely. Thank you. I'm glad you're liking the 2-minute drills. And of course, if there's ever a topic any of you would like me to cover that I haven't already in my 2-minute drills, feel free to write me anytime. I'd love to dive into any of these topics. I'm always looking for great ideas from you guys. Anything you want, any questions you have, anything you'd like answered, I can absolutely do another 2-minute drill video on it. They're so fun to make, and I love making them for you guys. Thank you. They are so much fun, and they're so informative, and I think they're a little bit different than, I guess, what you'd see like typically in sports shows, sports talk shows. Really diving into the numbers, and that's what you get here. You get math, you get numbers, statistics, analytics. But hey, we just stick by that and we keep increasing our ROI, and we're doing so well. We have the results to show that it works, honestly. All right, let's dive back into these college basketball games. I really like this Iona spread sitting at -5.5 right now, so I like it. Then Morgan State versus Minnesota. This is at 2:00 p.m. Eastern. I really like how Minnesota moved from -20.5 to -22.5. There was some level 2 pro money showing up there. A lot of pros jumped in on this. Then it moved out even to -23 in some spots the last time I checked. So this looks like, you know, the Minnesota spread is just moving out farther and farther. I would grab this one early as well. So yeah, definitely Minnesota, if you could find it, -22.5 against Morgan State. Then I'm looking at South Dakota State versus Alabama. This game is at 3:00 p.m. Eastern. I like how Alabama, you know, this one is a little bit wonky, but you might want to proceed a little more cautiously on this one. But I still like how this is moved. It's still a pretty significant movement with a lot of money behind it. Oh, I'm so glad you're learning something every day with the emails. They're so much fun and they're free. Yeah, please tell your friends and family if you're liking the emails so that they could sign up too at arielcalista.com. It's great. I love answering all of your questions and sending out the emails every day. I'm going to send one out right after the show, and yeah, then it's time for my schoolwork. Taking my AI ML courses, postgraduate courses at the Com School of Business. So, all right, now back into the numbers. With South Dakota State versus Alabama. This game is happening at 3 p.m. Eastern. I already said that. Now Alabama moved from -20.5. It pushed all the way out to -23, and then it started moving back a little bit to -22.5. Right now there's level 3 pro money on Alabama. So I still like this. this might be a little more of an action-y play for me, but I still like how this is developing a lot. Even though there was a little bit of buyback going on, I still like the play here. It's pretty solid. I'll take Alabama minus 22.5 for sure. Then I am looking at Missouri State versus Evansville. This game is at 4 p.m. Eastern. Now this is interesting as well. Missouri State went from minus 2.5 all the way up to minus 4.5. There was some pretty strong pro money mixed in there, and it's still a pretty good move. So I do like Missouri State today, minus 4.5. Then at 5 p.m. Eastern is UIC versus Illinois State. Now this total has been very interesting. I would say this is probably one of the wonkiest lines that I've seen today. I really haven't researched this game too deeply, but it seems like the bottom fell out on both points and the total, so I don't know, the line's behaving weird here. The total went from 150.5 to 145.5 on level 5 money, where it's sitting right now. So the under is still looking pretty good. But then there's other spots where, hey, what's good? Welcome in. So in this game, there's still other spots where I see that this line went from, like 150.5, like up and then down to 145.5. And then in other spots, it went way down and came back up to 145.5. All kind of starting at 150.5, but then just moving in different directions at different sports books. So because this line is so wonky, it kind of makes me wonder, is there a computer error going on here? Or is there something else that we just don't know about? So I would say if you're an action player, this is a nice under to play. I would say overall, I like the under here. But this is one of those games where the line is behaving super weird. And I just haven't researched this game too deeply, to be honest, to see like why different, books have done different things with this line since the open. But if you guys have any extra information, let me know. All right, time for the cannabis corner. We are doing something a little bit different today. I'm just going to be talking to you guys about cannabis, and really what is fascinating to me recently is just how connected humans are with plants. Like, it doesn't seem like plants and humans are really all that connected at all, like but truthfully, when you start looking at the different structures that we have in our body, I mean, even the conception of life, you realize that plant terpenes are involved. So looking at this and seeing how much humans and plants are connected, let's just dive into this really quick and see how deeply they're connected. All right, first of all, bergamot. This is a plant terpene. It comes from nature, but listen to how interconnected in our bodies it is. It activates the OR1D2 receptors on sperm cells, which triggers calcium ion fluxes, which enhance the mobility and direct the sperm towards the eggs. That's the beginning of life. So it is interesting that bergamot, a plant terpene, is literally activating these receptors. I mean, it's a plant terpene, which just makes you realize this biological process of creating life, also plants in nature are enhancing it. Now, let's dive into the endocannabinoid system. This is one of the earliest biological systems to develop you know, when a newborn baby is developing, when it's still a fetus, I mean, this is one of the earliest systems to emerge. The endocannabinoid system regulates homeostasis. We all know that. It just keeps you in balance by relying on internally produced endocannabinoids. And these are very similar to the phytocannabinoids, CBD and THC, but our own endocannabinoids are called anandamide, AEA, and 2-AG. So this really regulates so much in your body. It keeps you in balance, homeostasis. It regulates your mood, your appetite, your immune responses, even neuroprotection. There's so many ways that this plays a role in your body, and when you're deficient in your endocannabinoid system, you can have serious illnesses or deaths. I mean, it could lead to all kinds of problems when the system that's supposed to keep you in balance is deficient and it goes out of balance, and everything just compounds and gets worse. So by supplementing with phytocannabinoids, and yeah, you could get cannabinoids from other plants like, you know, hops and echinacea, but truly in nature, the one plant that's producing more cannabinoids than all the others is cannabis. Yet we've restricted it. We've sent people to jail for it, and we've taken it away from people. It's just science, guys. I mean, we have to keep our bodies in balance and homeostasis. And there's one way to do it. It's, you know, supplementing with cannabinoids. It helps your body, and because they last longer in your system than your own internally produced endocannabinoids. And we all make endocannabinoids. Without them, we would die. That's like not having an endocannabinoid system is like not having an immune system. It's like not, you know, you need these systems in your body to keep everything functioning. And, you know, it just shows, you know, our relationships as humans with the plant world is so much bigger than we even realize. And it's so important that we just keep everything balanced and, you know, live in harmony with the plants instead of it sounds like a superpower, but it's not. It's just your endocannabinoid system. You know, like if you had, you know, issues with your cardiovascular system, when you want to, you know, benefit it, when you want to supplement it with things that are good for it, that are naturally found in nature, of course you would. I mean, so your endocannabinoid system is really just that. It's just another system in your body that is keeping you in balance. We produce our own endocannabinoids. The runner's high, the feeling that you feel with a runner's high, that's your own brain producing, your own body producing all of these endocannabinoids and flooding you with endocannabinoids so you feel good. And it's the same thing coming naturally from nature, from cannabis. Well, not a superpower, just a plant. Let's stop restricting people's access to it, and, you know, we should all be able to feel good and allow ourselves to be healthy with it's a plant, guys. It's just a plant. Let's be able to look at the science, read the real articles. I mean, there's over 35,000 studies that have been published on cannabis so far, like even just recently. So let's look at the science and, you know, look at how this plant could help us instead of restricting it. Oh no, but at least you guys have hemp out there. And hemp, I mean, you could get, you know, the THC from hemp, and, you know, CBD from hemp, and CBG from hemp, and all of the cannabinoids that you need could still be produced using hemp. So, I mean, that's the one thing that, you know, I really like about the Farm Bill. I like that we're going to keep this going. All the same rules for the Farm Bill. We're not going to try to restrict it for people for another year. I mean, that's the one thing that I really like that has been, you know, in the news lately, especially with, you know, like the upcoming Trump presidency, is that, the Farm Bill is just going to keep going as it is right now. And, we're not restricting cannabis from people because of this Farm Bill, which allows you, like, even people in states without, legalized marijuana, it still allows them to have hemp and access to hemp and all of the wonderful cannabinoids that the cannabis plant produces because of hemp, because of the Farm Bill. So I am super pro Farm Bill. I hope we keep it in effect as is. And, I think it's one of the best things that we've done, recently for cannabis in the country since our founding fathers were declaring, that everyone needs to grow cannabis. And I mean, they were growing cannabis on their own farms. That's what our founding fathers were doing. I mean, you look at the old constitutions and stuff, and, on their to-do list, it's, gonna go sign the Constitution, but first I have to go check on my cannabis farm. So to me, it really is like truly American to grow your own cannabis and have access to it. All right, enough of that rant. Let's dive into my NBA and NHL plays of the day. Let's keep this going. The Heat versus Rockets. This game is happening at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Now, I like how the Rockets went from -6.5 to -8.5 on mixed money. This line seems like it's developing more and more, so I like it. I'm taking the Rockets -8.5. I like how this is developing. Obviously, there's still some time till the game, so keep your eye on this. It might develop even further, might fall apart, but I like it as it is. Rockets -8.5. Now I have a fun one for you guys. We are diving into an NHL play. Today I like a puck line. Good morning, David. So great seeing all of you this bright and early this Sunday morning, but I am unfortunately on my last play of the day. I'm sorry everyone, but I will run down everything because we've had a lot of plays, a lot of games on this slate today. There's a lot of picks that I like here. Of course, I'm going to run them down, give them all to you guys so you can write them down. And yeah, sorry I don't have a graphic that you could screenshot, but next time for sure. All right, now at 5:00 p.m. Eastern, the Montreal Canadiens are facing off against the Lightning. I like how this Tampa Bay Lightning puck line is developing. It went from -1.5 plus 105 where it opened up to -110. There was a little bit of buyback going on. It's sitting at -105 right now, but there's still level 5. This is the strongest pro money I've seen today. Level 5 pro money on the Tampa Bay puck line. So I like this a lot. Super strong pro money. And this line did move in the right direction. It did move back a little bit, so that is something to be a little wary and cautious of, but this is definitely the place where I've seen the strongest pro money of any spot on the board today. So pretty interesting to see that. So I like that play. That's my play in the NHL today. All right. Let's run down all of the plays one more time. Maybe one more hit of Sour Diesel. Also, I do want to remind you guys that I will be going live on Wednesday. The show will continue, just so all of you know. Make sure to join me Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see you all there, because it'll be so much fun. Great way to start the new year. And yeah, let's just have a blast. Besides, what's a better way to start the new year than with a bunch of winners, right? Talk about literally starting off on a winning note. All right. Now, let's dive into all of these games. And starting with NFL, Cowboys versus Eagles game. Thank you. Thanks so much. I love doing it, so you guys can always feel free to remind me to take a bong hit anytime. Right? Okay, maybe one more before we start. Okay. Cowboys versus Eagles. You already know what I like here. I bet the under at 38.5. It's already moved down even further to 38, but it's probably still on the move. I'd still take the under here. Raiders versus Saints game. You know, I took the Raiders money line earlier at -105, sitting at -125. I don't really know if I'd take it at -125. Use your own discretion here, but I do like how the spread moved in the right direction. So it is looking like this is going to be a big day for the Raiders. Yeah, you could get Raiders -1.5, -2 in some spots, and like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, this is one of those spots that you might want to even ladder out a little bit against the Saints. This is going to be fun. And for you action players, you know that I like the under a little bit. It is leaning under. There is some pro significant level 1 money on the under. Sitting under 37.5 right now. It did open up under 40, so I like the direction it's going. There was a little bit of buyback earlier, but it's still going in the right direction, so nice underplay for you action players. In the Dolphins versus Browns game, I bet the under 37.5, but this just went way down. It's sitting at under 33.5 right now. Yeah, I would wait and see if there's some buyback that you can get that goes on here. This is kind of one of those use your discretion plays, especially when it's seen at 33.5. But sometimes, you know, like I say, you know, when Vegas makes a pretty big change, sometimes they're more right than we even think they are because they're playing into our better psychology. So, you know, use your discretion here, but still looking like a pretty good play. All right, now moving on to college basketball. I like Iona -5.5. Solid pro money there. Then I took Minnesota -23. You could still get it -22.5 if you line shop. Really strong pro money there. So I like Minnesota against Morgan State. Then I also like Alabama. Like I said earlier, this line's a little bit shakier, but I still like how it's developed. Alabama -22.5. There's still some strong pro money on it, level 3 pro money, so I like it. Also, I like Missouri State. That's sitting at -4.5 right now versus Evansville, so I like that. And finally, like I said, this line is super weird. The weirdest line I've seen today, where the bottom just totally fell out in the UIC Flames versus Illinois State game. This is at 5 p.m. Eastern, and it went from 150.5 to 145.5. I like the under. There's still such strong money on the under here, but just be a little cautionary because this line has been weird, but it is an under move and it's holding there, so can't really argue with that. Then in the NBA, I like the Rockets -8.5, and NHL, I am taking the Lightning puck line. Those are all of my plays for today. I hope you wrote them down. A lot of plays for you, some fun action plays in there, some stuff to ladder out. I love that. And spend the New Year's getting your winners with me. I will be back on today's Sunday. I'm back every Sunday and Wednesdays. Wednesday, my show, 7 p.m. Eastern. So make sure to join me. We'll be going over some fun games. I'll have a fun cannabis game for us all to play. So make sure you join me Wednesday. Let's start this year right with some winners. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in. Love how you guys are using my emotes over on Rumble. Love that. Good luck today, everyone. And of course, I just had my new shipment of Sports Betting Illuminated books come in, and I'm sending out signed copies only at arielcalista.com. Of course, you can still order the book through Barnes & Nobles or Amazon or anything else, but check out my store at arielcalista.com where I have this book. You could get your signed copy, or you could even get a book bundle with Sports Betting Illuminated and Infrared Illuminated bundled together. And yeah, I hope to see you all Wednesday. Good luck today, everyone. Let's do some winning. And please make sure to leave a thumbs up on your way out. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and have a wonderful Sunday. Let's do some winning. See you all Wednesday. Bye.